The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
I haven't been there in a long time.
We should go.
I know.
Why haven't you been there in a long time?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure something out for dinner tonight, so maybe that'll be the stop.
There you go.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten anything at Kelly's other than the salad bar?
Yeah.
I've not ordered one thing off the menu ever.
Yeah. So I like their patty melt, which of course I get it like different.
Somebody's buzzing and needs to not buzz.
Taken care
David.
of. But it was on silent.
That's right.
That's true. It was just a buzz.
But yeah, I like their patty melt. Their nachos are also really good because their salsa has it's more of like a chili. Have you ever had their salsa?
That's
It's
good.
the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, nachos are always my go-to everywhere I go. Their chicken strips are the shit. I mean,
The Matt Special.
what's that?
It's a grilled chicken breast, rice, broccoli, and cheese.
Oh, that's a little too healthy for me, but
Well,
it sounds delicious.
When I try to, and not try to not bathe in cheese, it's healthy.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
because
it's
they have
good.
the cheese sauce, so it's impossible to not bathe it in
Yeah.
cheese.
Okay, so when we go, my wife orders cheese soup and then she orders the cheese sauce to dip her fries in.
Perfect.
And it bothers me because I'm like, why are we spending the money on the cheese sauce?
I
You can just dip your
different.
fries.
Agree.
It's different.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
different flavor. I'm with Ellen on this
So I
one.
got to pay $2
Yep.
for this little thing of cheese,
Yep.
and she can't just dip it in the
100%.
soup.
and
outrageous.
the difference is what?
I think it's just a different taste. The cheese sauce is different. And the soup, I don't know. Sometimes, depending on what day you go, I don't know if they do something different to it or maybe add more milk or something.
Exactly.
So
There are some days it's a little thicker.
It's always
some-
good, but some
always
days it's a little
delicious,
thicker,
but some
and
days
some
it's
days
different.
yes, I
and
agree
the
with
cheese
that.
sauce is always consistent.
It's always dippable though. You can always dip your damn fries in
100%,
it.
but it just has
But
a
my wife
different
doesn't.
flavor. Well, hey, she's worth it, and don't argue with me about that. She's worth that $2 cheese. Ellen, don't let him give you a hard time about that. And I'm very particular when it comes to things too. I mean, I have certain.
No.
Please. No, I'm not. I'm just, I'm quirky. You know that. But so I can't have the Abbey quesadillas without the Abbey salsa or the Tower chips without the Tower salsa. I don't want Gym City chips with Tower salsa.
Wait a second.
didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know that there was a difference.
Yeah.
Gem City chips are different.
Yeah. So Gym City chips are yellow, corn chips.
And they're heated.
They're heated and they're a little bit saltier. And the Towers, depending
think
on
they're a
when
lot
you get
saltier,
them,
by the
they
way.
are.
Yes.
They are, which is one of the reasons I love them. I love salt.
And which makes you drink more, which
Yeah.
is fine. That's
Genius.
part of the business
Yeah.
model.
Part of the business
Yeah.
model.
And then the Towers are a little thin. They're thinner, crispier, almost lighter.
As a chip aficionado, I would not know the difference between
wouldn't?
a Gem City chip and a
If
Tower
I brought
chip.
them in here and covered them and gave you one, you would be able to pick out at least Gym City
I bet
out
you
of the
would.
two.
Well, because of the
you would.
salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you would.
But not
But
because
the flavor is also different because I think one's corn and one's a flour or one's white corn maybe. White corn and yellow.
once you dip it in the salsa,
Listen to me. I'm I'm hungry
But then the
and
queso,
I'm particular.
and then you got to get
Yep.
the queso. I always got to get the queso
Yep.
too. That I'm fine with.
Yep.
I'm fine with the queso.
See, well, and the white queso from the Tower is
Yes.
that's where it's at.
Yeah.
is this
extra
what
too.
I can expect?
Yes,
The hard-hitting
this is
news
what
about
we do.
whether or not you have white queso or
Yes.
corn
You
know what?
chips
Yes,
from the
this
Tower.
is,
Yes.
this is the
That's-
This is
essence.
Club Muddy.
This is the essence
That's
of Club
what happens
Muddy.
when you do
Yes.
something in the evening and Ash hasn't eaten yet. And when we start talking about
Oh,
food,
now she's talking in the third person.
Hey.
Yeah.
Now, see, I could
I got some
drop
granola
Ricky.
bars over there if you
I-
wanted them. So
I could. Ricky loves a little Ricky.
That's
there,
right.
But she won't.
Yeah.
She won't know the Ricky reference.
Bo.
Bo knows Bo.
Oh, nose bow. I was thinking the Seinfeld episode. What was that guy's name?
Jerry,
Bobby.
Bobby,
Bobby.
Banya.
No,
Was it Banya?
doesn't speak in the third
Banya
person.
doesn't do
There's
third
the
person?
third one. The third.
Bobby. Yeah,
I think
okay,
it is
yeah,
Bobby.
yeah.
And Elaine doesn't know that he's talking about himself.
Yes.
He's asking her out on a date. Bobby likes to go. Bobby likes to. She was like,
Yes.
no. Yeah. I'll stop doing that because it is kind of annoying.
Well,
Anyway.
we just had Super Bowl weekend, which is always basically a national holiday, and some people would like they would like them to push it a week back so they could have President's Day off and the day after. It's fine. I mean,
Genius.
the game is done though by 10. I mean, it's not that big a deal,
but it would be nice to. I understand Sunday is historical, but look, can we do it on a Saturday?
But if you did it on Sunday and you had it on the day before Lincoln's or before President's Day,
That would
then
be
a lot of
perfect.
people have that day off.
That I would
That would be
say,
genius.
do you need a day off after the Super Bowl?
I don't.
No, you don't.
Well, we
however,
don't because we're old.
okay, but however, why not move President's Day? What's the problem with
Yeah.
moving President's Day?
Yeah, I
So
agree.
if that way, I'm fine with that. You're still celebrating the presidents. You're just doing
Yeah.
it a week earlier, and you're accommodating those. Maybe there were all kinds of people who had to travel to the Super Bowl or
Yeah.
travel for parties, or they had a late night or whatever. You know, the next Monday having a day off is no big deal.
Right.
Having the day off after the Super Bowl, sure.
Although-
we don't need to create another holiday.
Although the Daytona 500 is Sunday, so those fans get the next day off.
Well,
there you go.
Oh,
But it's the Daytona 500 was pushed back when the Super Bowl got pushed back because
The
the
Daytona
Super and they
500
extended
is
the
not as
season.
big.
Oh God, no, it's
So-
not. I'm not saying it is.
Super Bowl gets preference.
Yes, but they actually pushed the Daytona 500 back when the NFL schedule pushed the Super Bowl back a week. Because remember, the Super Bowl used to be like mid-January, and now
Yeah.
it's the second weekend in February now. So, but the other thing about the Super Bowl was just the betting aspect. This was the first. I guess I've been in Missouri the last couple of Super Bowls, and you can't like bet on your phone or whatever. But you know, I'm a what would reference?
FanDuel?
I'm a nickel dimer.
Yeah, I'm a FanDueler.
Nickel dimer. $5 bet, maybe a $10 bet, but nothing more.
Really?
And oh yeah,
I
totally
spent
cheap.
$25 on a couple of them just because I was like, oh, this is definitely happening.
Yeah,
It
I actually
didn't
prefer
happen.
DraftKings. I find that one to be
so
more.
you did bet?
I did. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
May I ask, what did you bet on?
I don't really know, David. I just kind of picked.
Oh.
I went with like the.
Did you bet on
know-
football type things or how long the national anthem's
No,
going to
not
take?
like prop stuff. No,
Okay.
I did like. Okay, so if Travis Kelce would have scored 2 or more touchdowns, I would have won a pretty significant amount of money. But he only did 1.
Right.
Right. I bet on some parlays.
Listen, you sports girl.
I know. It takes betting to actually like get me to pay attention. But I bet primarily based on how many people are making this bet, and I knew that the Eagles were, they were the favorite, right? They were the favored team. I should have known better because every instinct I have to go this way, I should go the opposite way. I won $11.
Well, then you did okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I put some.
I said
dollars
I for like once we found out what the matchup was, I was like Chiefs in the over,
Yeah.
in the over. So I did
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So it was fun, but I think it's really changed because it used to be you'd sit there and watch or whatever, and now you're like on your phone. Okay, should I bet on this play? Should I bet on this play? Should I do this? Should I do that?
I want to know how many of the people who complained about the interference call at the end of the game were mad because
of a bet.
because of a bet they
lot,
had on the
I
game.
would
And
guess.
I would guess a huge
Yeah.
portion because I didn't bet on it. I looked at it and I went, "That's a hold.
Yeah.
That's a hold
Yeah.
in every. That's a hold in every game." You can make the comment, "Well, it's late in the game. Let them play, dude. It's a hold.
Yeah.
It was a hold. It was a hold. It was a hold. So I don't care if you had money on the game or not, and that may have affected you, and you were betting on the Eagles to win or whatever.
What do you think about the complete pass? It was in like the first or second quarter.
Oh, there was one.
Devontae Smith's on the
You
sideline.
didn't have the 3 steps in.
Yeah.
Is that a new rule?
No,
It's not?
You had the fumble. You had the one where Miles Sanders caught the ball and it looked like he took a step and he got drilled by Bolton and then
Yeah.
Bolton picked up the fumble. Yeah,
When it went off his helmet, or which one?
was
are you
that one.
talking
That
about?
one.
So there's one that was like it looked complete, but then he kind of fumbled it and caught it again.
Oh no, that
So-
was Goddard on
So
the
there's
side.
Yeah,
two.
that was
There's two
Goddard,
different-
yes,
and they
yes.
both got called.
Yes,
I feel like they were.
They're both overturned.
Yeah.
So
I feel kind of badly here because here I am. Ashley's talking about, what about the play where he got the 3 steps and
Hey.
the ball was off his
I'm telling
helmet?
ya.
And I'm literally telling you, I was working.
Yeah.
I had my laptop up, the game was on, and if Greg Olson or Kevin Burghardt sort of yelled about something, I looked up to see what was going on the screen, but I didn't watch it play for play, down for down.
Yeah.
And here's Ashley breaking
Hey.
down pass interference rules.
When I throw cash out at something, I'm paying attention, and I learned a lot just by betting. So it's not just the betting that.
you want to cover a regional basketball game next week?
No,
We could use the help.
Do you remember when you said you had to announce for something and you didn't really know what, or you couldn't, there wasn't a whole lot to say? That would be me. I would just be pulling things out. People would be like, what is this? This has got to be like a Saturday Night Live.
But you know what, though?
Something.
I think she's getting close because the fact is, that's okay, maybe not necessarily basketball, but when the fall rolls around,
Volleyball.
Postseason volleyball.
Yeah. She can swing
Ashley
at
could
that.
go take a swing at that.
Take her daughter with her.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be
I would
great.
love that. I get very energetic, we'll say. Very.
Okay, now when
No
you
cheering
say,
in the press box.
as someone who has spent parts of the past 40, I've coached youth sports for 44 years.
Yeah.
I've coached soccer, I've coached basketball, I've coached baseball, and so I'm very interested when you say that you're very energetic.
Yeah.
When you say that, can you give me an example of your energetic, your energyism?
Yeah, so the last tournament we went to was in Lewistown, and they have really, I want to say like older school bleachers. I don't want that to be like an insult because it was a very nice facility, but.
If you're at Lewiston High School, that school is that high school gym is a palace.
The gym, the sunken gym, is that where you were?
No.
Like it went down?
Are
in
you
the
thinking
thing?
Missouri or Illinois?
Oh, you were in Lewiston, Missouri?
No, Illinois.
Lewiston,
Yeah.
Illinois
Okay.
has a beautiful old gym that sits
like a
down
bowl.
like in a bowl.
No.
But that's the high school gymnasium.
Okay, no, this was
Okay.
not that, and it had
That
like,
place is
they were
awesome.
like
Great gym.
metal bleachers that came
Nah,
out.
nope,
and they came
nope.
through. I'm terrified of heights, so I was sitting down low behind the girls' team, and at one point, one of the girls turns around and was like, "Whose mom are you?" And I was like, "I'm Claire's mom. Why am I being too loud?" And she was like, "No, you just look like her." I was like, "You are so full of crap. I do not look like Claire, one, but it's because I never, like, I cheer with every, I mean,
Every
I
bump,
just never
that's
stop. You know,
Really?
like, yeah. I'm
But
like,
you're positive.
oh, yeah.
You're
I'm
just,
like, way
come
to
on,
go.
girls, let's
yeah.
go.
I'm like, fire up comments or, you know, like, that's okay, side out. I mean, and half the time I don't know what I'm talking about, but sometimes I do. I just like to keep, you know, I like to keep the energy up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That you're enthusiastic. Your child sees that you're enthusiastic.
Yeah.
She knows. My guess is there's a part of her inside that's going, Mom,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Please
She's
stop.
like, shut up, Mom.
please stop, Mom.
Yeah.
But at least you're positive.
Yeah.
I've seen way too many parents who are in the front row or near the front row like you are, who are very open about their disdain for the coach's decision making
no.
or why
Or the
this kid in the game
officials.
or the officials. And an old friend of mine who's been a basketball official for many, many years, I love. He says, "You can say whatever you want to me. You just can't say it in the front row."
Right.
Because when you're in the front row, now you're part of it.
Yeah.
You want to go up in the 38th row with bleachers
Right.
and scream up there, knock yourself out. But
Yeah.
just don't do it in the front row.
No. I'm constantly, it's positive and it's, you know, like, that's okay, we'll get it next time or good effort or, you know, blah, and sometimes Luke's like, no, it's not okay. I'm like, yes, it is. But, you know, it's just seventh grade.
Again, you're okay. So you're a mom, and this is one of the things that I've learned. I've coached probably boys and girls almost an equal amount of time. I coached my daughters when they were athletes, and I've coached boys on both ends.
Right.
And I've learned this is the fundamental difference between coaching boys and coaching girls. If Bob's at if Bob's at the free throw line, and Bob misses a free throw,
Dad's
all of his
like,
teammates are going to be like, "Come on, Bob, make a
Yeah.
free throw. Let's
Yeah.
go." And they're mad at you and
What's
they
the matter
scream at
with
you.
you? Yeah.
Or you drop a pop up or whatever. They're all over you. Game's over. Hey, want to go get a bite to eat afterward?
Yeah.
That's how guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl misses a free throw. Every girl walks up and says, "It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay, Claire. You can hit the next one."
Yeah.
Game ends. And it's, I
there's
cannot
smack
believe
talking.
that bitch did not throw
that's
me the
exactly
ball.
It. That's it.
That is the
That's it.
difference between boys and girls.
It's about kind of like the camaraderie on the stage, almost, is what I would say, because they hug after every play. I mean, they meet in the middle and kind of like hug it out every play. Now, I will say this team is different, and the parents are amazing. Maybe it's because it's the first or second year that they're playing, because most of the time we're with the 8th grade team as well.
Right.
But it just seems like the parents are. It's just pride. You know, we're just proud to see the girls out there.
Yeah,
sure.
And they're really good too. So
That's
it's
great.
Yeah, it's really fun. And not everybody gets to play. Claire doesn't get to play all the time, but it's still fun to see how they all act together as a team. It's just really cool. So yeah, I love it. I would never bet on volleyball though.
No, I don't know if that's a DraftKings option. I haven't seen that.
FanDuel
No.
7th grade volleyball hasn't happened
Not
yet.
seven. What about like sand
Yet.
volleyball?
No, probably not. No, probably
maybe
beach
we start
volleyball,
that.
probably nothing like that.
Dang
I haven't
it.
seen any of that. So, no, but I think it's just fascinating the way that, it was so forbidden for years. I mean,
Yeah.
you had
Oh,
players, get suspended for gambling in the 60s. We had
Alex
players.
Harris and Paul Horn.
Yeah, and then we had the Ridley kid get suspended a couple of years ago for the Falcons. But and of course Pete Rose not in the Hall of Fame, all this stuff. But now you've got DraftKings and FanDuel signs all over the stadiums, and it's every other commercial. And DraftKings, the official blah blah of the NFL.
If you follow Bally Sports and all
Yeah.
the Midwest, how much they're getting gambling involved in
Yeah.
the regional baseball broadcasts. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't do the nickel dimers like you do.
Yeah.
I'm
Strictly for the game.
It doesn't make any.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably rather bet on how long is the national anthem going to be than I am about things like that. It just and to those who do it, great if it enhances your entertainment of watching the game.
Definitely
Do I
for me,
think?
yeah.
I think it's fascinating though. You betting money on a game doesn't surprise me. You betting money on a game fascinates me because it's
because
like
I don't know anything about it.
not that necessarily that you don't know anything about it, but the fact was that you wouldn't really care about it unless you had money on it.
Yeah. So here are the things that I care about, and this is pretty par for the course for a lot of my friends, and you guys probably know a lot of people like this too. So commercials, halftime show, food. This year, now that I bet on it, it kind of taught me to pay attention, and I was learning kind of what was what. And
Right.
it's pretty neat. And I'm not saying I'm a huge football fan now, but I definitely enjoyed it.
But
It was really, because I was like checking and, just making sure.
But again, that was the Super Bowl. I didn't do that for every. I don't do that
Oh,
for
no.
every game. I'm not gonna.
I don't
I might
watch
like take a a baseball. A 3 baseball game parlay, $5, great done. I'm not gonna sit there and bet on every pitch.
Yeah,
I mean, I know
no.
guys who do that. It's like do that.
I don't
do that
think
right.
I watched
Don't do
any
that.
football game except for the Super Bowl this year. Like no playoff, no.
Now, because you did that and you enjoyed it,
Uh-huh.
would you think about watching an occasional game during the regular season, or maybe pick it up earlier in the playoffs?
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, the thing is that, and this is just, I know you prioritize what you want, but I'm just too busy.
Sure.
I mean, football games are fun if it's like the occasion, which I think
Right.
is,
Which is
Super
the
Bowl
Super Bowl.
is the occasion.
Yep.
I love any reason to celebrate, and then any reason to learn a little bit more about it, or any like avenue to do that, I think is cool. It's not something that I'll do regularly. I mean,
Sure.
any big game would be cool. But yeah,
And it kind of goes like, okay, with this has happened, and of course now Quincy has so many, gaming parlors as well. They're like one of those, Springfield is the highest per capita, but I think Quincy is like number 2 in the state, because we never got our gambling boat that people wanted a gazillion years ago. So now we have all those gaming parlors, which is great, and it's, it's revenue for people. And so if you've got a problem, stay out. That's always been my philosophy. But, it's something that has, that has kind of permeated the community. And I think it's just society in general, because it also is like, we're never going to have pro sports teams in Vegas. We got a pro hockey team now.
Yeah.
You got a pro football
Pro
team.
football.
You're probably going to have a pro baseball team.
Yeah.
And next year's Super Bowl is in Las Vegas.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
And because the NFL, they look for these revenue streams, and whether it's, I think between gaming and between streaming, video streaming, those two things have opened up so many possibilities for dollars.
Well, I just
for
heard
sports leagues.
I had just heard of there was a news report. I was actually driving home somewhere, and I just happened to have the news on, and the report was that more money was spent. Let me rephrase. Well, I guess to make the money, the casinos, that's how they make their money, is you spending your money. So whichever way you want to go.
Yeah.
But casinos were more profitable this year than they've ever been, ever.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it now is the prevalence of now I can bet on my, it's
Sure.
it's so much easier. You just do it from your phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever you use, they've made it so simple,
So easy. Yeah.
that it's
that even I
almost-
can do it,
that
and that
even-
should be the ad. Look, we made it so simple. Even Ashley can do it.
If Ashley can do it,
Anybody can do it.
you've made it simple enough and fun enough
Yeah.
to where
Here's
Midwestern non-sports mom who doesn't really know. But the fact that you dropped Travis Kelce's name and said it right and knew that he had to score 2 touchdowns, you learned something.
I did. I will say, though, admittedly, the Kelce, I don't want to, it's the story of it, right? So that's one of the things I thought was really interesting. It seems like every Super Bowl, there's almost like a soap opera kind of element, right? So the drama is definitely there. So with the brothers, I was tuned into that, and the mom wearing the double-sided, because I was thinking, that's so cool. How tough would it be to like be in that position as a mom? So that's one reason. Also, he's gorgeous.
There you go.
Let's
That's
just be real.
what it all
No.
boils
You're
down
exactly
to.
right.
It doesn't hurt when you have, because I've said in the past, if I don't have a preference on a team, I pick the winner based on how hot the coach is. That's just my thing. That's not why I went with the Eagles. However, it did fit the bill.
Yes.
Okay.
Nick Sirianni's an attractive man. Yes.
He is. Yeah.
And Andy Reid's Andy Reid.
Yeah. So,
there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's the same theory that people have when they pick their teams in the NCAA basketball bracket, and I pick them because I visited that state, or I like the team colors, or I like the mascot. You have a rooting interest. And if you think Travis Kelce has a nice butt, then you watch the game for that. More props to you. More props to Travis Kelce.
I know. And then I think, I think the Super Bowl's doing it right when they do kind of pimp these stories about brother. It's like, of course we want to increase viewership. And then because I will tell you, what do you guys think about the commercials?
I didn't get to watch. I didn't watch a lot of them. There weren't many that jumped out at me.
Same.
The one where the remote changed, everybody in our room was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, that was either genius or
I don't even. I didn't see it. I mean, I had the game on.
Or not.
It was like your screen was on and the game went out, and then like this channel started changing.
It looked like it was.
And it's like you were like, it's like you were on your guide going, "Whoa!" And I'm like, the guy's outside, Joe, are you? He's like, "That's a commercial, Bob." Yeah. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Totally went. Oh, got me.
You got you.
The one that I wished I had watched from the beginning was Alicia Silverstone in the Clueless remake.
That was good.
You can see it online,
I'm sure I could, but I that one I knew was coming, and I kind of just wanted to see what they did with it. But good. I only caught part of it. I was working on.
What was that? I forget what that was for.
Rakuten.
Okay, so I bet that they're.
It was a good spot.
I mean, it was genius. Really, that was about the only one, the Amazon one with the dog that chewed all the stuff up, and then they were online looking for a crate, so it was kind of misleading. And then the puppy comes home in the crate, so instead of getting the dog a crate to put the dog in, they got the dog a puppy to keep it busy, which I thought was super sweet, but very. I wonder how many people are going to Amazon looking for puppies now. Thinking, you know what I mean? And then there was another one that was a really sweet, I'm always a sucker for animals and anyway. There was another one and it was a really sweet one about an aging dog and dog food, but I can't remember the brand. So it clearly wasn't that. As a marketer, I looked what kind of stuck with me.
Yeah.
And Amazon did, Bud Light did for 2 reasons. I love Miles Teller. It was him and his, I'm assuming, real wife dancing to On Hold music, which was pretty cute. But
I need to go back and watch these commercials.
But I will say for Bud Light or Budweiser or whatever, it was a little lackluster because you're expecting like the big,
especially from them. They're the ones who come out usually with one of the better ones.
Yes, like the horse running.
Yeah, the 6 Degrees of Budweiser ad wasn't exactly. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. It's like, and with Kevin Bacon narrating, it's like, well, there should be some like Kevin Bacon 6 Degree stuff in this thing,
Yeah. Anyway, I just didn't think they were very.
But
as awesome as they were, I think.
As gambling, as we continue this vein, we are a month away from the NCAA tournament, and somebody at this table has run an NCAA tournament pool for like 30 years.
It's not me.
Notice which hand he came to. Yes, I've operated a tournament of my own doings. It is not affiliated in any way with Muddy River News, Muddy River Sports.
Hey, we're not your previous employer. I'm fine with that. If we have the mayor or the police chief or somebody bringing in cash for the pool, I'm fine here. I'm not going to put the kibosh on like they did back at the other place.
That's the truth. There was one morning I was working and it was Thursday morning, and if anybody had ever been in the old newsroom at the Herald Whig, my desk was in the far back corner, and the entrance to the room was at the other end. I mean, it was as far away as you could get, and there were people with pool sheets and money lined up out the door,
including public officials.
Oh hell!
Yeah,
because I was working at the Whig at the time. It was great.
Let's be honest. In those types of media channel, I'm not calling out the Whig, but you can't say certain things. So I'm surprised that they even let you stay that day.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they were very nice about it. They're just like,
look, we can't have this, David.
Not anymore.
Look, you want to run it? Great. It had grown. I
mean, how many people at the peak did that pool have?
About 800.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, I placed in it and won like hundreds of dollars one year. I think I finished like second or third or something and won like $200.
I'd probably get in on that, even though I don't really know anything.
Right.
Oh.
And one of the persons one year won because, not to get too deep into the woods here, but basically the pool that I have, your points, the points that you don't just get correct points for picking the winners, you get more points if you pick lower seeds.
It's a great system. It is. It's a really cool pool. It's a great pool.
Everybody can pick Duke.
Yeah.
But if you somehow pick UC Santa Barbara, which is a 12 seed, well, if Duke wins a game, they get 1 point. UC Santa Barbara,
it's like long shots?
You get 12 points. So you get more points based on on your seeds.
Yeah. I don't know what a seed is. Is that long shot or
it's basically the way they rank the teams in order from 1 to 16, essentially saying number 1 should be the best team. Okay. 16 is a team that has the least amount of chance of winning. Only one number 16 seed has ever won a game in the tournament.
Yeah, so it's like a long shot.
Right. But you never had a limit on how many brackets you could have, right?
I did.
You did cap it at one point?
I capped it like
because in 1 year I put in multiple, and 1 year my wife happened to be pregnant, so one of my bracket names was Fetus Goff.
Nice.
Yes, that is true.
And then I always had Mizzou Homer Goff because I always had a pool where Mizzou wins the tournament.
Yeah.
And then I never picked Kansas to win a game in any bracket I have. Those are my rules.
Well, one of the pools that we had, this is so long ago that the person who won this hasn't lived in Quincy in probably 35 years. But his wife picked Temple to win like 4 games. Temple was like the 9th seed, and Temple went on this massive run, got to the final 8, and so they got 9 points in the first round, 18 points in the second round, 27 points in the third round, and she ended up winning. She picked Temple because her favorite baseball player was Gary Templeton.
See?
And that was nothing to do with the school in Philadelphia.
You may not have been able to tell you that Temple was from Philadelphia.
That's right, yeah.
It's my soul sister. Yeah.
All right. So,
David, that happens.
We are going to have a pool this year that David's going to run. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, count me in.
I've done it for years. It's insane.
It'll teach me something about basketball. Then.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Yeah.
And it'll give you a reason. It's just fun. My daughters will all be texting me like the morning of the game. Hey, Dad, I'll get your bracket in as soon as I can.
Yeah.
And they're all over the place. I'll get people. Gosh,
of course, it's all online now.
It's all online.
Yeah.
And
fun.
And it's we think I think it's fun. I think it's a neat way to do it to do the bracket.
Sure.
And it's not yet up to the numbers that we had. And the bad part about it was at the time when the numbers of the pool that I was running when I was working at the Herald Whig also was the time when they had the big gambling ring at Barney's.
Yes.
And so we're writing.
That was part of it.
We were writing about all these people gambling at Barney's, and meanwhile, everybody knew that the biggest pool in town for the NCAA tournament was in my little corner desk.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Exactly.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. No.
That's awesome.
That's so funny. Anyway, okay, so one more thing, because going back to like the drama, Mahomes' ankle. If I had to hear that one more time, I was going to freak out. He was fine, and that announcer brought his ankle up for probably, the rest of the game.
Well, he did hurt it at the
he
end of
got
the second
tweaked.
quarter.
It was tweaked.
It was tweaked. He was fine. They didn't
Now,
talk about. They didn't
Are you
talk
saying
about,
they shot him up with something at halftime?
No, I don't know. That's not my.
Well, let's put it
that
this
is
way.
a rumor.
I think one of the things,
That is
though,
a
that
rumor.
was a huge factor is the length of the halftime show.
Oh, yeah.
Gave them time to really assess him.
Okay, but hang on.
And give him, you
Because
know,
the Eagles running-
what was
Mr.
it?
Miyagi went.
Mr. Or what was
Yeah.
it? Bud Kilmer in
this.
Varsity Blues.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, shoot him up in the ankle or whatever. But the fact was, when he came back, especially when he made that run on the quarterback scramble late in the game.
Yeah.
He was okay.
Here's my
but he
personal
wasn't,
take.
He was not
I
when
think
he got hurt
was
in the second
milking
quarter.
an ankle injury because they were down, and he was thinking, "Man, I don't want to be associated with this if we go down." Yeah, that's my conspiracy there. Also, did you see the Eagles player who twerked his ankle? And I'm saying really twerked it. Not twerked, tweaked.
Tweet.
Well, who knows? They
Maybe
did
he
twerk
tweaked
too.
it
They
while
did
he was
twerk,
twerking.
too.
I can already see the
But-
headlines of this one.
Yeah.
Ashley twerks.
Tweaking or twerking, they're both not awesome for Ash. But he really
Third
got
person
his
to get
ankle. Yeah, he really got his ankle
Yeah.
turned. There was no mention of that.
He wasn't the MVP. You didn't even know the guy's name.
He was a really small guy. That's all I know. I was like, what? He's gonna
Small
get
guy with a
snapped.
tiny ankle.
He's gonna get snapped like a twig. Yeah. But anyway, okay. And then, sorry, go ahead.
For those of us who had Patrick Mahomes getting 25 yards rushing in their
Yeah,
parlay, though,
yeah.
the scramble was a very nice thing there at the
Yes.
end. So,
And I can know all those words now. Also, okay, one more thing, and this is about the halftime show because we just can't talk about the Super Bowl without the halftime show.
Sure.
Okay, Rihanna, what'd you think?
I don't know. I don't know her very well. I don't remember song. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I liked it. I was
Okay.
like, oh, great. And then it's like, of course, all of the women around were like, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
She's
Well,
pregnant.
I knew that right away.
That was the part for me.
Yeah.
I know some of her songs.
Yeah.
I know of her. I can't say that I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
And so, but I will always watch the halftime show.
Sure.
And I'm watching this and I'm going,
Yeah. It was like
is
basically
she,
her
is she,
announcement.
is she pregnant? I didn't know. And so I thought maybe I should Google this. Well, surely they'll talk about it at
Nope.
some point.
That
they
was just her
never,
announcement.
they never really did. I didn't care for, what would you describe the suits that they were wearing?
Well, it was like snowsuits, but it reminded me of like sperm.
I saw them
The
in
way they were moving.
I saw them in Return
like
of the
they were
Jedi. I
fluffy.
thought they were great.
Really?
No, I didn't like them.
I was like, man, if I'm a Super Bowl dancer, if I'm dancing at the Super Bowl with Rihanna as like a backup dancer, I want to see my face. Like, I want to be like, Mom, hey, here I am. You know, they had them all.
I want a Super Bowl, Mom.
Yeah, they had them all cinched up with glasses. I mean, you couldn't even tell they were female or male. Maybe that was the point.
They were on the ice planet Hoth, is what I thought.
Okay, I don't even know what that is. Now, those words I don't know.
You just went right over
Yeah.
my head. I'm
Two
sorry.
people. I'm with two people who do
Thank
not
you.
know anything about Star Wars.
Listen,
That
maybe-
is
maybe I'll tackle that.
freaking
Okay,
amazing.
Wait a second. Wait a
You
second.
make
Wait a
it-
second.
if you make a bet on Star Wars, maybe I'll learn it. But I'm out.
Have you ever watched Star Wars?
I watched one or two because my husband is a fanatic, but
Never
I can't
seen
get
it.
into them.
Never seen
yeah.
it.
I know you have. I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. I knew.
I
this.
know when I
this
told
going
him
in.
that when I told him that he was like, "You've never watched
Yeah.
A Star Wars
a
movie.
No, never watched it."
No. And also, I think so. There was kind of some, people were talking about Rihanna because how do you say his name? Kaepernick?
Colin Kaepernick.
Kaepernick, when he took a knee, she basically said that she would never perform for a Super Bowl, like in support of him. So the hypocrisy there was
See, I
all
didn't
this
know
more
that.
drama.
I
Yeah.
don't care. She's
But
fine.
I don't care about any of that. I just wanted to mention it because I'm sure a lot of people do think about that. But I think that you can't have a halftime performance without some kind of like special guest.
Yeah.
Like you know, like they had one, you know.
Oh, so
okay.
you're saying she should have had a special
should have had-
guest,
so
not just
any-
her. So her fetus was not enough of a special guest
No,
for you.
No. Mm-mm.
I think she was wearing pink. I think
The
that was
fact
also her.
we used the word fetus twice is
Yeah.
remarkable.
I think that her wearing pink was
Twerking
also
fetuses.
her gender reveal. Twerking
You think
fetuses
so?
is the name of my fantasy baseball team now. By the way.
Perfect. Love it. I kind of thought that too, and that's probably why I thought the white were like spermy. It just all kind of just buttoned up real nicely. But I think it was missing that special guest, or because like Michael Jackson, there needs to be like a hologram of him or something at one of them, or like do something really cool. I mean, this is the biggest show, right? So
And
I
you
just
know,
think
I
these
know
are
a
so
lot of
huge.
people like to take this opportunity as well to say, was that the greatest halftime show ever? Where does it rank in the pantheon of halftime shows? And I think to myself,
Tom Petty was
I really
pretty,
don't care.
pretty great. I will
This
say
just
Snoop
didn't-
Dogg was amazing.
That was good.
Well, everyone,
really good.
all I know is the one that always is brought up is the best is Prince.
Because he played in a driving rainstorm, and they said, "Oh, you don't have to perform." He's like,
Yeah.
I'm performing.
Yeah.
You know why?
Well,
Because
he's
I'm
a legend.
Prince."
He was a
And he
legend.
goes out
Yeah.
there with his electric guitar. It's like, "You might get electrocuted."
Yeah.
It's like, "I'm Prince. I'm
Yeah.
playing." Yeah. No.
Yeah. Now, just to give Rihanna some props, I don't care how great her performance was. I don't even care if she lip synced. I don't care. For a pregnant chick to be suspended that high above the ground,
I would love to know how
She had a harness on. Did you see that?
I don't care.
When she was up there.
I
Well, she
just-
should have.
listen.
Damn right I had a harness.
You could have had me strapped to the board, and I would have said, "Look how high I
guys,
am."
I
up
couldn't
there.
even crawl up the bleachers at a seventh grade volleyball.
Yeah, she's on the floor, and here's Rihanna,
Yeah.
100 feet in the air.
I have the utmost respect for anybody who can do that.
I
And
thought
then-
I thought it was a great performance.
I thought
really
it was
did.
cool. And I think, even though the movements of the choreography were very simple, they were very tight together. Like the consistency was really cool. And that's
Yeah, I
just
noticed that.
that's just what I look for. But overall, I
That
thought
was
it
a
was
dance
great.
moms type thing.
I know,
was,
right? And
yeah.
I'm not really. I am
Yeah,
a dance
so
mom, but
no.
not like that.
So-
But that's one of my other favorite things is to scroll Facebook and just sit back and eat my popcorn and watch all the fights about best or was
Who's
it
the best
good?
halftime
Yeah.
show?
Yes.
Should she
Yeah.
be rubbing
Oh, it was
herself as
terrible.
suggestively
she
as
was
she
grabbing your
was?
crotch, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
You know what? It's
Satan,
Rihanna.
blah, blah,
She
blah,
is
whatever.
a billionaire, whatever. She can
Yeah.
grab whatever she wants
Yeah.
and wear whatever she wants and do whatever she
If
wants.
you don't like it, don't watch,
Yeah.
and just whatever.
Yeah,
So,
but
on that note, I think we are done. Thank you for
Yeah.
sitting in.
Oh, it's my
you.
pleasure. I
That
just
was so fun.
I was kind of prepared to sit here and maybe talk about city government or talk about what. No,
Maybe next time.
No. In fact, we didn't come
Food.
within 5 miles of city government. We talked about fetuses.
Well, we talked about some of them possibly gambling in your pool, but
That would
outside
be
of
too.
that, we did.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have had some, yes.
Yes.
And like I said,
No judgment.
come middle of March, you know where to find me.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Muddy River News. Our home, our news.